Hello everyone, welcome to our midday yoga session. Hang on one second, always forget to put on the do not disturb, but here we are at our midday yoga session. Welcome, this is the Blissful Warrior. This is what we call our midday yoga session. It's a chance to sort of pull back a little bit from the craziness of the morning. I don't know if you've had one of those mornings, but I certainly have, and it wasn't like an agitating morning. It was just one of those mornings where one thing leads to another. It's nothing that you sort of planned to do, but not in a good way. I mean, there are some mornings where I just sort of let things unfold as they feel right. There's always this list of things that there is to do, and maybe some of them are not so set in deadlines all the time, so you can sort of afford to let them unfold as you feel ready to do them. And then there are those days when things just kind of tend to creep in and take your attention, and before you know it, you have sort of gone off on a different path. And it's not that that's always such a bad thing. It's just that sometimes, and for me this morning in particular, I found myself doing things that as I was doing them, I was saying, I really do not feel like doing this right now. This doesn't feel productive. This doesn't feel soothing. It doesn't feel like the right thing to do. And yet I kept doing it. So it's such a pleasure to have this time in the middle of the day. Here it is on Eastern Standard Time if you're joining us here on this coast, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's just lovely to have this time in the middle of the day when you can regroup. So if you've had a busy morning, if you've had a quiet morning, or if you've had one of those mornings like me where a bunch of things that I'm not even going to say those things took my attention. I'm going to say that I allowed them to take my attention, because as it was happening, I noticed myself saying or thinking, I really should put this aside right now. This doesn't feel like something that I want to do, and yet the momentum of it just pulled me along. So whatever kind of morning you've had, you always know that here in the middle of the day at this Blissful Warrior midday yoga session, you have a chance to change your momentum, to bring it back into line with things that you actually do want to do, or better still, ways that you would like to feel. The feeling comes first. If you're feeling calmed and soothed and sort of in control of at least your own actions and reactions to things, then the day can unfold for you in quite a different way. If you just dive right into the actions without taking a moment to settle and soothe, then you end up with the kind of morning that I had, where it seems like you got a lot done, maybe a lot of check marks on the to-do list, but none of them feel quite satisfying. So here's a chance right now in the middle of the day. It's the perfect time. Morning is gone, that part of the day is over, afternoon's still ahead of you, and evening's still ahead of you. That part of the day still within your management, within your ability to put yourself out in front of the way you'd like to feel, and then allow the actions to unfold from there. So, whether you are joining this session by stopping what you're doing, by having it on in the background while you continue to, make lunch, take care of kids, doing online schoolwork, sitting at a computer, even looking at your email, it's fine. It's fine. The fact is, you have arrived right here in this moment. And the way you take it in is completely up to you. But just take a moment to, congratulate yourself for taking this moment in any way that feels good for you. You have arrived right here, right now, and you are welcome to join me in this practice in the way that feels right for you today. So I will be making some little recommendations throughout this session of things that you might want to try, but know that there is no wrong way for you to become a blissful warrior. And I've named this Blissful Warrior because it's my intention for myself and for you to be warriors, but not the kind that push through walls. The kind that are really adamant about setting your priority on bliss, meaning that nothing can be more important than that you feel good in this moment. And then you let your day, your actions, your reactions unfold from there. And it's simpler than you think. Of course, there will be conditions, there'll be people, there'll be situations around you that will trigger you into old kinds of reactions, those knee-jerk reactions that don't feel good. But those can be just momentary when you realize that you have the ability to pull back a little bit and choose how you'd like to feel, first by soothing yourself, and then by sort of examining how you'd like to proceed from there. You really feel your empowerment, your bliss, your ability to be that kind of warrior, the empowered kind, the self-empowered kind that can determine how your life feels and to some extent how your day unfolds based on how you would like to feel. So in this moment, let's just decide that how you'd like to feel right now is calm, soothed, in control, empowered, relaxed, accomplished. Choose your word. Choose how you'd like to feel. And let's move forward in this Blissful Warrior practice with that intention in mind. Make sure you have some water beside you, because the first thing we're going to do to arrive in this practice is drink some water. Very, very simple, extremely soothing, nourishing for your body and calming for your nervous system. Water, simple water. Go ahead and let's take a few sips together. For me, sometimes it's not until I start sipping water that I realize I haven't had enough. My body just seems to want more and more of it. If you're not used to drinking a lot of water, then in the beginning, drinking water can feel a little bit foreign. But that's okay. Just take it at your own pace. Hello, Amy. Nice to see you. Where are you joining us from? I know you're headed home here to New Jersey. Glad you have this moment to just relax. Maybe you're driving in the car and listening to this, so that's perfectly fine. Just make sure not to close your eyes if you're doing the driving. At any point that we're closing our eyes, you can keep your eyes open. So let's choose an arrival posture, meaning a way to settle your body that feels comfortable for you to just be here. If you're sitting, you might try sitting on the ground. My preferred position is to sit on a cushion, and always to sit at the far front edge of the cushion in a cross-legged position. You can see I'm in half lotus here. Doesn't mean you have to be. But if you're sitting on that cushion, try to have yourself sort of edge to the far front edge of the cushion so your hips and your knees feel tilted downward a little bit, and then bring your rib cage back in a little bit. So all these little adjustments to settle into your physical body. If you're sitting in a chair, make it a comfortable one. Choose one that maybe has a back that you can lean against. And place both of your feet on the ground. And in these two ways, settling back a little bit, grounding your hips, and having your soles on the floor, you are calming your nervous system. So the arrival posture that you choose will not only be soothing for your physical body, but also calming for your nervous system. Our bodies, we sometimes think of our bodies as these kind of responsibilities, like a kind of an albatross that you have to drag around and make sure it stays healthy all the time with your diet and your exercise and your movement. We never think of our bodies, or rarely do we experience our bodies as these beautiful places of like a vacation, a nice little moment of respite. That's what we're doing here in the arrival practice, just re-arriving in our bodies as a place that feels good. If you can lie down here in the middle of your day, I always recommend that. Lie on your back, legs out, and arms at your sides. Maybe the arms are far from your body, palms facing up. Allow your heels to lightly touch and your toes to flop apart. And just breathe. So your eyes are open. Now if you're sitting, tuck your chin a little, bring your head back a little bit as if you'd like to place your head on top of your neck. And this might sound odd, but you might notice that your head is thrusting forward a little bit. We all do it with the chin and the chest. You're going to bring yourself back into alignment right here. And look at something out of the tops of your eyes more than the centers, so you have a sense of a soft gaze. And if you're lying on your back, shift your gaze down from the ceiling, down towards the midline of your body, and you'll have that same sense of settling the head on top of the neck. Lean back into the hips a little bit, not so much like you're leaning back, but just so that you're not leaning forward. All these little ways to settle yourself into physical alignment. Beginning to feel it already. Now, I have been practicing for many, many years, so these small adjustments become like second nature to you eventually. And it does. It feels like that moment when you know you're going on vacation, when you can just breathe again. Isn't it nice to know you can take this vacation at all times, anytime you want, wherever you are, right here in your own body? Okay, let's move into the next part of this practice, which is deep breathing. So breathing as a way to infuse your body with oxygenated blood, as a way to calm your nervous system, again, as a way to feel at home in your body. So find a comfortable place to rest your hands. Palms in your lap is nice, palms on your knees, backs of your hands on the knees, maybe hands on the thighs. All of these positions can be very soothing. Choose what feels most soothing to you right now. We're always checking in to see what is it that my body, that my nervous system is calling for right now. Not what you did yesterday, not what you remember somebody taught you a long time ago, but really right now. All right, so we will be breathing in and out through the nose and hearing that nice loud ha sound at the base of your throat. And as we're breathing, I'll be guiding you through some little ways to adjust your arrival posture, just to feel more settled and more at home in your body. So again, dropping the chin a little, softly focusing your eyes, and let's begin with the deep breathing, deep deliberate breaths. And inhale through your nose. And hear that loud ha sound at the base of your throat as you pull your collarbones wide, noticing this feeling of your shoulders coming down from your ears, but you're not tugging them down, you're pulling them open. So there's an openness across the chest, across the heart center. Your rib cage expands out to the sides, holding yourself in this open position with the breath in. And now exhale. Again, that loud ha sound at the base of your throat. The collarbones stay wide and open. The rib cage starts coming together like an accordion meeting at the center line. Dropping your tailbone down, and then slightly tuck your tailbone up towards the navel. So that extra little lift of the chest and lengthening of the spine. Stay empty. So much soothing in staying empty. And inhale. Collarbones wide. Your ribs are like an accordion. They're widening to the sides. Notice you don't want to thrust your rib cage forward. There's an old stress habit. Just keep them widening out. Relaxing your arms at the elbow tips and tucking the chin a little. And exhale. Deep, loud ha sound at the base of your throat, vibrating there, letting your vagus nerve come into beautiful alignment, settling your nervous system. Drop the tailbone down, and then tuck it slightly towards your navel. And inhale. Collarbones wide open, your heart center, your chest, your lungs feel filled. And exhale. As those ribs deflate, feel like there's that accordion being pressed together. Emptying. Drop the tailbone down and tuck it slightly up. Staying empty is a beautiful pause. And inhale. Can you still hear that loud ha sound at the base of your throat, like the ocean rising. And exhale. Stay empty. Notice how soothing it is to stay here in the pause between the inhale and the next exhale. And inhale. Collarbones wide, the chin is still dropped. Your eyes are softly focused, your ribs are expanding like an accordion, holding the fullness. Exhale. As you exhale your breath, it's like a wave of soothing through your entire body. You can feel the softness of it, the complete gentling. And inhale. Exhale. Just notice how you feel. What adjectives might you use to describe your emotional state right now? Just a few moments ago when we started this class, I was describing to you this kind of morning that felt like I was being whisked away by a bunch of tasks that I hadn't planned to do and didn't even want to do, and yet kept doing them. And right now, that feels like a very faint memory. Kind of frenetic energy of it just feels like a very soft memory. It doesn't feel like anything that's present. Right now, for me, there is a great sense of feeling calmed and accepting of whatever happened this morning. So nice to not have that self-judgment piled on top of perhaps actions that were less than satisfying. That's over. Let's take another breath. Inhale. And exhale. And just lightly, without judgment, checking in on the intentions that you set for yourself as this session began. The intentions for the way you want to feel, not the goals you want to achieve, but the feeling that you'd like to have. And notice if you feel closer to that right now. I definitely can say that I feel, on that emotional scale of 1 to 10, sometimes the easiest way to check in is to just see where you've landed. 1 is very chill and relaxed, sort of calm, maybe even a little bit excited and happy. And 10 is very agitated and frustrated. So I definitely arrived with frustration about my morning, closer to 10. And here I am feeling more like 3. Soft, kind of calmed and gentled, accepting, at home where I am. I hope you feel something of that too. It's your birthright. It's your natural place to be. So returning to it can be easier than you thought. Drinking some water, arriving here in your body, and taking a few deep breaths. 1 more inhale. And exhale. Let's move into some yoga poses. What yoga session would be complete without some movement? As I said, I've been practicing and teaching yoga for, practicing for 50 years, teaching for 40. And this yoga movement, this stretching combined with breathing, it never gets old. Okay, so we're going to do some standing poses today. I just feel like getting up on my feet. So, if you were sitting in a chair, Easy to rise to your feet, just your soles of the feet are on the ground, and just bring yourself to standing. If you are lying on the ground, please roll over onto your right side and place your palms on the ground. Look at the backs of your hands as you press yourself up into a nice seated position, joining us here. And then as we are seated here together, we will stand up together. If you are on a cushion, as I recommended, let's move that cushion away. I will adjust my camera, and we will rise to our feet together in a really beautiful way that helps to align your spine. You know, when your spine is aligned, again, you feel like you have this structural support in your body and in your emotional state that just feels like a place you can depend on. How nice to have that feeling that your body is a place you can depend on to feel good. So, I'm going to move myself to the back and come onto all fours. So join me here on all fours. Come into this tabletop position with your elbows locked and your wrists directly under your shoulders, 6 inches apart. Hands are 6 inches apart. Separate your knees, also 6 inches apart, and directly behind your wrists. Lock your arms and rotate the inner elbows in. So the kind of crooks of your elbows, the soft inner sides, face each other. Your feet are tops of the feet on the ground, and just for a moment, feel your stability. You know, in every movement that you make, you want to take a moment to acknowledge how good it feels. Don't bypass these movements on the way to getting someplace else. Every movement that you do has the opportunity for you to feel good about yourself. So take a moment to breathe into it and feel the stability of this movement right here. Now, dropping your chin to your throat, move your hands a little further from your knees and place yourself in your fingertips instead of in your wrists, instead of on your palms. Hang your head between your shoulders and curl your toes under and press your fingertips so that you come back onto the soles of your feet. And maybe your heels are down and your legs are straight, and maybe they're not. But really hang your head between your shoulders, tucking your chin towards your throat. And then come into your palms, move your hands, walking them back towards your toes. Hang your head, hang your arms, and slowly begin to stack your spine, feeling like your spine is a big slinky and you're placing one coil on top of the other. Hang your head, hang your arms, suck your stomach in, and give yourself this beautiful little spinal adjustment. One coil at a time, no rush. Head up last, arms to your sides and palms facing forward. Adjustment more of the camera as we come into full standing poses. So we'll do mountain pose. Toes and heels either together or hip width apart. Arms limp at your sides and palms facing forward. Pull the collarbones wide. And as you do, an interesting thing happens. You notice your arms get very light and limp, and they start to float up. You're not raising them up. They're just naturally light. Lock your thigh muscles and lift them up. Rotate your knees in. Drop your chin down a little bit. Bring your head back a little bit and take a breath. Inhale. Let your ribs come open. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. At our Hot Yoga Studio, we specialize in the Hot 26 sequence. So we're going to do some of the standing poses of this Hot 26 sequence. All of them are beautiful ways to warm up your spine and to, again, feel at home in your body. So if this is your first time doing yoga, even if it's your 100th time doing yoga, every time you do it, you come to it as a beginner. And and you follow the cues of your own body, which means that if any poses cause you any pain, please back them down. Yoga is not a competitive sport, not even competing with yourself. You're not here to improve or fix anything. You're here to enjoy the feeling of having a body and being at home in your body. So please do nothing that causes you any pain. Let's start with Ardha Chandrasana with Padahastasana, half moon with hands to feet pose, a way to move the entire slinky of your spine in all directions, 360 degrees, just as it was made to move. So inhale and bring your arms in close to your body and pull your fingertips down even as you lift your thigh muscles up. Continue to inhale as you bring your arms overhead and clasp all 10 fingers. Palms are pressed and then pointer fingers are pulling. Bring your arms a little behind your ears if you can and squeeze your head with your biceps. Your chin is off your throat. Lean a little bit into your heels, locking your thighs, leaning your hips forward. Lift from under the rib cage, nice and long, feeling your waistline grow longer. Leaning into the heels, keeping this length, and just start to rock a little bit, just a little bit. Pull to the right and ease your hips left. Inhale back to center, pull up. Holding the breath, pull to the left and exhale, ease your hips right. And inhale back to center and pull up. Pull a little behind you. And then pull to the top back right corner of your room and ease your hips left. And inhale back to center and pull up. Leaning a little into the heels, pull to the top back left corner and ease your hips right. And now back to center again. So here we're going to reach for maximum length. It just feels good. It's not to achieve anything. It's to, if anything, achieve the moment of feeling like yourself. Pull from the pointer fingers and press your palms. Squeeze your head with your biceps. Lean a little into your heels. Lock your thighs. Let your hips come forward and lift from under the ribs. So can you feel this maximum length from your pointer fingers to your heels? Hold it here. And holding the breath, pull. Top back right corner of the room. Point the pointer fingers and pull yourself into that corner. And as you exhale your breath, keep the arms locked, but ease the left hip. Just relax the hip. Now try not to bend the knees if you don't have to. Leaning into the heels a little bit. It'll help you to feel this beautiful rounded C curve that you're creating with your spine. As you inhale, pulling from the pointers, press the palms. Squeeze your arms behind your ears. Your chin is off your throat. Let your left ribs come a little behind you, a little towards the ceiling. Feel that little twist. Leaning into your heels, and as you exhale, ease your hip to the left. So now you might want to push into the hip. Lean into the hip. One more push. And change. Changing the pose, coming back up, stacking the slinky. Right here at center, pull from pointer fingers to heels. Under the rib cage, lift from the waist. Lean a little bit into the heels and lift again. Holding here at this beautiful place of length and start the pose, pulling. Pull those pointer fingers into the top back left corner of the room. Pulling, pulling. Head stays between the arms, and as you exhale your breath, let your right hip ease itself, relax itself, pushing to the right. Can you feel that moment of relaxing in the middle? As you inhale, hold from the pointers and press your palms. Squeeze your head with your biceps. Your chin is off your throat, but not at the ceiling, sort of at chin level, at throat level. Rotate your right rib cage a little behind you, a little up towards the ceiling, and lean into the heels a little more. And as you exhale your breath, relax the right hip. Now you might be inspired to push the right hip. Ease it a little more. Push, becoming that backwards letter C with the slinky. And then change as you inhale, slowly stack your spine. Just feel every delicious moment of it. And let's try bending that slinky backwards. So inhale and lengthen from pointer fingers to heels. under the ribs, at the waistline. Lean a little into the heels. And as you exhale, just drop your head back. Everything else is pulling, but the head eases back. Look at your pointers. And inhale again and pull. Pointer fingers, arms locked all the way down to the heels. And as you exhale, begin to bring your hips forward. Feel the weight in your heels and start moving your arms, feeling like you'd like them to be right beside your ears. Pushing your hips forward, dropping your head back. Eyes are open as you inhale, lift from the breastbone, rib cage. And as you exhale, move the arms. Keep breathing. And changing out of the pose. Coming up, pulling. Pull from the pointers, stack the slinky. Head between the arms again. And pull up and ready to pull that slinky forward. So forward bend, head between your arms. Pull your pointer fingers into the wall in front of you. Now you can keep your legs straight or you can bend your knees on the way down, but keep pulling. Pull from the pointer fingers, feeling your slinky lengthen from pointer fingers to tailbone. All the way down. And then place your palms flat on the ground in front of your feet. Tuck your head. Tuck in your chin. Let's bounce on the heels a little bit, left and right. One at a time. Look at your knees. Make your knees look like they're going to hit you right in the nose. Try not to let them fan out to the sides. See if you can keep your arms locked here. Just running in place. Tucking your chin. Now bend the knees as much as you need to lay your chest on your thighs. And no space anymore between chest and thighs. Hang your head. Tuck your hands. See if you can get them under your heels from behind. All 10 fingers pointing forward. If that's not available, you can place your palms on your calves, fingers facing down. Tuck your chin. Inhale. Wrap your elbow tips as if they're going to touch behind your calves. Tuck your chin again. And as you exhale, begin to straighten your legs, point your tailbone towards the ceiling, and pull your face close to your shins. Inhale. Exhale. And changing out of pose. Arms beside your ears. Pointer fingers are pulling you from the tips of your pistol grip to your tailbone. And once again, your knees can be bent or your legs can be locked, but you're pulling. You're stacking this slinky, getting this perfectly felt alignment of the spine. And here at center, one more lift and lengthen, and then drop your arms. Stand for a breath. Now again, toes and heels together, or you can have your feet separated in this version of mountain pose. And here, can you feel the lightness that you've created, that you've remembered in your body? Take a breath. Inhale. Exhale. Collarbones are wide. Feeling the arms just gently float themselves up. This sensation of calm in your nervous system. Alignment in your body. Inhale. Exhale. Let's play with balance a little bit here in Utkatasana. So right foot steps to the right, 6 inches. 2 fists side by side between your feet measures that perfect 6-inch distance. And looking down at your feet, you can see they're parallel like the letter H. Looking ahead of you, bring your arms up to shoulder height as you inhale. Shoulders are down and back and fingertips are pulling forward. You can feel the weight in your heels as you inhale more. And as you exhale, begin. Bend your knees and stretch your tailbone back as you pull your knees and fingertips forward. So You're going to come down just low enough that the backs of your thighs are parallel to the ground, no lower. But keep pulling your tailbone back, let your chin drop, and pull your fingertips down. Forward. Shoulders are down and back. You can feel yourself hovering in this beautiful sense of balance. And then change the pose. Come on up. Now right here, come all the way up on your tippy toes. Keep your eyes focused ahead of you and rise up until the weight of your body is balanced on the inner edges of your big toes. Heels way up high and begin. Bend your knees and begin to lower down, but don't let the heels drop. Keep lifting the heels, lifting the knees, lowering yourself down again until the backs of your thighs feel parallel to the ground. The heels are up, the knees are up. Beautiful strength and balance in the knees and the thighs and the calves and even in your feet. And then release, slowly coming up. Oops. And then heels down. Regain the balance of your arms, shoulders down and back as you squeeze your knees in tight. Inhale, come off your heels very slightly. And as you exhale, feel as if you're gliding down a flat back wall. Nice and slow, keeping your eyes focused. If you tend to have bad knees, you can put your fingertips down and lean into them to lower your hips to your heels. Then all the way down, squeeze your knees and thighs tight. Tip your knees a little forward and allow your hips to hover if you're ready. And just feel your balance right here in midair. And then release. Squeezing your knees and thighs together, slide up that back wall. Nice and slow and in control. Drop your arms and come back here to this beautiful moment of feeling your lightness, your balance, your ease in your body. Inhale. Collarbones wide, chin stays down. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Don't be alarmed if you feel a little out of breath after these poses. Instead, feel empowered by how quickly you can regain your composure with just a few breaths. Your body is built to support you. It's not working against you. Alright, let's move into one more beautiful pose, Garudasana Eagle Pose. Inhale, pull your fingers down, your shoulders down as you lock your thigh muscles up, rotate your knees in. Continuing your inhale, it's arms overhead, palms in prayer. As you exhale, swing your arms down and cross them at the elbows and twist the forearms and bring your hands into prayer. Thumbs face your nose. Now sometimes the palms don't touch and you can just barely grab your thumb and it's all fine. Move your shoulders a little. Pull your elbow tips towards your belly button. Pull your collarbones wide. Center your hands. Squeezing your legs together tight as you inhale, bend your knees. Lowering down. And as you exhale, bring your right leg up, over and around. Maybe hooking those toes behind the calf muscle. Then bend your standing knee and sitting and squeezing hard. This is an amazing pose. It allows you to do something called the tourniquet effect. You are squeezing down blood flow to all the 14 major joints of your body for just this moment. So when you release this pose, there'll be a fresh rush of oxygenated blood in those 14 joints. Squeeze hard and then release. Inhale, arms up, palms in prayer. Exhale, swing down. Left under right. Cross at the elbows, twist the forearms, and once again, hands in prayer to whatever extent you can do. Move the shoulders. Pull your elbow tips towards your belly button. Center the hands with the thumbs facing your nose. Inhale and squeeze your legs together as you bend your knees and sit. Exhale and start. Left leg up, over, around, and hook the toes. Sometimes easier on one side than the other. Never mandatory. Always exploring. Press your palms, bend your standing knee. Squeezing down. You can feel the squeeze in your hands, your arms, your legs. If you're your toes are hooked, you can feel the squeeze of knee on top of knee. Get it nice and tight and then release. Inhale, arms up. Press your palms, exhale, drop down. And here you are again in your mountain pose. Your stability, your groundedness, feeling like yourself. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, let's come back down to the ground by unwinding that slinky spine. So as you inhale, separate your legs, hip width distance, and turn your palms to the wall behind you. Drop your chin to your throat. Hang your arms forward and begin to unwind your spine, one coil of that slinky at a time. Keep looking for your throat. Keep your arms limp. Keep unwinding. Keep it slow. When your fingertips touch down, move them further from your toes. Hang your head between your arms. Bend your knees and place your knees on the ground between your hands. And then come to the tops of your feet and settle back, hips to heels, palms in your lap, and breathe. Now again, sitting hips to heels is not always comfortable, not for everybody, so it's okay for you to sit cross-legged. It's okay for you to find a place in your body where you feel like yourself. This is not about pushing yourself to be something you're not, because the way you are is perfect. It's about enjoying that body, enjoying the sense of feeling at home, not having to change anything or fix anything, just being present. Inhale. So we're going to end with a pose called half spinal twist. Beautiful way to move that slinky in a really empowering kind of way. Beautiful twist. So bend your left knee so it points forward and bring your right leg up and over that knee, placing the sole of the right foot on the ground. If this causes any pain to this bent knee, just keep the left leg straight out. Settle on both hips by leaning back a little bit. Your right arm is behind you. Lean into it like a kickstand and walk it. Left arm up by your ear as you inhale more. Lift from the fingers, the arm, and under the rib cage. Lift. And as you exhale, bend the elbow, come down around the outside of the knee and push. Push with the elbow and bring your hand down, placing your fingertips on the ground. Locking now both arms. Inhale again and lift your chest. Drop your chin. Pull your collarbones wide apart. Keep both hips on the ground by leaning a little back. And as you exhale, drop your chin and look over your right shoulder. And twist. Inhale, lift your chest. Collarbones wide, chin down. And as you exhale, twist, move your waist. Twist, move your ribs. Twist, move your shoulders. And twist, look over your right shoulder. Twist, twist, twist. And changing out of the pose back to center. Just settle back a little bit in your hips. Holding at the knee. And feel this springiness come back into your spine. Let's alternate. So bend the right leg. The right knee points forward and the left leg is up and over. So the left heel is right here against the knee corner. Settle on both hips. You might have to pull this foot out from under the left hip. Lean back a little bit. Feel your stability. You are way more balanced than you give yourself credit for. Stop here for a moment and just appreciate that about yourself. Now bring your right arm behind you. Lock at the elbow. Beautiful kickstand arm. Right arm up by your ear. With left arm behind. Lift. fingertips, lock your arm, lift under the rib cage and exhale, bend the elbow, come down around the knee and push. Reach down, place your fingertips on the ground so you can lock this right arm as much as the left. Now, if you're a little bit more experienced as a practitioner, you can slip your hand under the bent knee. Just keep the knee down. And as you inhale, lift the chest. Nice proud feeling in the chest. Pull the collarbones wide, drop your chin. And as you exhale, twist and look over your left shoulder. Just keep looking for something way behind you. Don't ever let yourself see your shoulder. Keep moving it back. Inhale, lift the chest, lean into the hips. Collarbones wide and long in one straight line. And as you exhale, twist, move your ribs, waist, shoulders, chin. Let your eyes travel all the way around the room. Twist and twist and twist and change. Settle back. Take a breath. Inhale. Exhale. And now find that arrival pose. Maybe the same one you started with. Maybe a different one. I'm going to reach down for my cushion and just sit here on the ground. And for this moment, just really appreciate how you're feeling. Try not to think about what you may have accomplished in this yoga session. I know we all want to be flexible and toned. We all want to have a body that feels fit and free. And all of that will come, I promise. But right here, right now, can you feel this sense of satisfaction? Can you feel a sense of appreciation and maybe calm gentleness that you feel towards your body and maybe even towards yourself? And as you go out into this day, maybe even towards others, but start with you. So find a comfortable position for you to be in right here as we end this practice. Remember, you can lie down on your back, and I highly recommend it. If you have the luxury of time at this moment to lie down on your back, go ahead and take it. If you're sitting in a chair, if that feels most comfortable for your body, go ahead. If you're sitting on the ground, find a comfortable place for your legs and your arms. Drop your chin. Keep your gaze focused ahead of you. Looking out of the tops of your eyes will just help you to feel this calming of the nervous system. And let's take 3 deep breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Here at the back of your throat. Stay empty here. This beautiful pause. Nothing pushing on you, pulling at you. Inhale. Collarbones are wide, the ribs come open like an accordion. You're nice and full. Exhale. Chin dropped, ribs are coming together. Here at the end of your breath, point your tailbone down and see if you can just aim it, undulate it a little towards the navel. See what that feels like. Staying right here. Inhale. Exhale. So here you are, my friends, just as you are, feeling just this good by allowing yourself to really appreciate this body that you have, the beautiful movement that it affords you, how invigorating that is, how it feels when your nervous system is calm enough that you can remember who you really are. Thank you for joining me in this practice today. I'm Rhonda Uretsky. I'm the owner of Riverflow Yoga, and Riverflow is a physical yoga studio located in Lambertville, New Jersey. And here we are, coming to you virtually every day. We know these are challenging times, maybe more so than usual. Most of us have challenging times even before the pandemic, the things that we're still facing. And so taking this pause in the middle of the day really helps you to remember that despite conditions, which may or may not be challenging at this moment, the conditions inside of you are completely within your control. This is the Blissful Warrior. I'll be here every day for the duration of not only this pandemic, but for as long as we need to connect with each other. This is a community where we get to hold each other in the knowledge that the way you are right now is not only perfectly fine, it's been waiting for you to recognize it. I hope to see you again soon. And I will certainly be here tomorrow at midday. I hope to see you there. Bye, friends.